During the COVID-19 pandemic, many found themselves struggling with some form of mental health issues that were brought on by the uncertainty of the pandemic. Isolation exacerbated those feelings, and now after 3 years, some are still struggling to cope even as the public health emergency nationwide has ended. Dr. Antoine Butler joins us in the studio with more on post-COVID mental health. Thank you for joining us. Can you tell me a little bit about the data and what it's highlighted in regards to specifically people struggling with post-pandemic America?
Yeah, absolutely. And I know on the 11th that we are declaring that we're going to end the emergency, I guess, part of COVID-19 as far as the nation's response. But to be honest with you, there's still lingering effects from 2019. We see that depression and anxiety and those types of disorders are still on the rise. And so there's still a lot of work to be done.
Absolutely. And what do you recommend for individuals who are coping with these issues, and what do they do? How can they be intentional about their mental health?
Yeah, so I think one of the keys, and let's say we're dealing with something with depression, which really if it's a serious situation, it takes a lot of energy to get up and just to do things, especially things like reach out. So I'll say for those who may be in some type of tough spot right now, when you get the energy, find time to reach out to someone that you trust. It's really important that we stay connected in these times. I know there's this false sense of independency that we carry around, but we really are interdependent people and we need each other. So finding someone that you can trust. I know sometimes we want to self-diagnose and we have things going on with us and we kind of hang around and wait till things get worse. No, reach out. Find somebody that you can trust and can get you some information and really can take a healthy look at what's going on with you.
And I think in many cases it's hard to acknowledge the fact that now we are able to do things, but we still don't feel like it sometimes. Yeah. So how do we make ourselves get back out there?
Yeah. Well, I don't know about making ourselves. I think naturally as a consequence, we try to veer away from pain. And so we get away from the things that don't feel well. But I tell you, it's a struggle sometimes to get back into life when you've been hurt and wounded. But all of our thoughts lead to feelings and our feelings lead to behaviors, right? So we behave based on the way that we feel, and that feeling has come from a thought. And sometimes those thoughts are just irrational. Sometimes those thoughts aren't consistent with who we are and our strengths and things like that. So sometimes it's about dealing with that headspace, fighting those thoughts that aren't consistent with who you are. And sometimes you may need some help and addressing some of those thoughts. So getting into a good headspace is super important.
Okay, so with getting into a headspace, I know sometimes I can just sit in the house all day and not even have noticed it.
Yeah.
So how do we make ourselves be more productive aside from getting in a better headspace? How do we make ourselves be more productive even?
Yeah, so I think going after low-hanging fruit. So naturally the things that I enjoy, naturally the things that come easy to me, I probably want to spend my time and energy there. That may simply mean taking a walk. Maybe if you're a person that likes to go to the gym, maybe there's something that you enjoy on the internet. Those things come naturally. It don't take a lot of energy and time, and we can start there. And definitely getting involved with other people who can help me with that. I'm a firm believer in borrowing other people's energy. You may not have it at the time, so find a strong friend to borrow some of their energy.
I really like that, and thank you, Dr. Butler,
Sure.
for being here today.